Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with our Crafty Playdate, and today I am going to be showing you how I made this card here. It opens a little differently, right? Because normally we do it tall if it's going to be opening like that, or if it's a horizontal card, it usually folds here, but I just wanted something a little different because, you know, you got to shake it up a little bit. It is simple, and I will tell you, it's a whole lot prettier in person, so I feel bad about that. You're going to have to trust me and try it, and then let me know that you don't agree. But this, oh, I got a glue ball on my hand. Shucker. It's always paint or glue balls, right? This layer right here has glimmer on it. See that? You see that little bit of a shimmer? So I'm going to show you how to make that today because you're going to make that shimmer. And this card goes together so fast, you're going to be blown away. Okay, so to start off, we are using this color. This is one of the newest in colors, and it is called Seaside Spray, and it is a great color. I should compare. One day I'll compare the two so you can see the two different really light blues, but we're just going to fold it in half like that, and then look in vain for a bone folder. No, here we go. There we go. That's for you, Cheryl. There you go. All right, so it's folded in half, easy peasy. It's got one layer. So this is just an 8.5 by 11 cut. If you look at it, that would be an 8.5 by 11, right? So I cut it right in the middle there. So it's 4 1/4 by 11 and folded in half now. It's just a normal size card base. And then this is always going to be 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this is going to be 4 here by 5 1/4. Easy. You get 4 of them out of a sheet of cardstock. So you get 4 of these and 2 of these. You can make 2 solid cards because outside, inside, that's 1. Outside, inside of a second card base, that's 2. This, out of 1 sheet of cardstock of the blue, you're going to get 2 also, right? So how about that? You cut once, get 2 cards. Bonus. All right. So this is easy. So we're just going to go ahead and glue this down and get it out of the way. I am using my very favorite Tombow multi-purpose glue. And you can see that I use very, very little. Not a lot, just use a little bit. The reason that I like this best, because everybody has their favorites, right, is because it gives me an opportunity to shift it around a little bit if I make it crooked. And I know you know that I never make anything crooked, but just in case. All right, so that's done and out of the way. I will put another layer on the inside later. You don't need to see me glue white on blue, right? Wasted time. All right, so the next thing that we are going to need, you're going to need to know about the stamp sets. So the stamp set that I am using is Frosty Foliage, and it is very cool. So this is great on your envelope of this card. Very easy, elegant, pretty, and then its friend is the Frosted Frames dies, and these do come as a bundle in the holiday catalog. Holiday catalog goes until the very beginning of January, like the 3rd or 4th or something like that. So if you want to make a lot of Christmas cards, you're going to want to get in on this. The stamp sets are cling, so they're a little different. They are still red rubber, but they are cling, and I don't have my labels mounted on these. But if you look at some of the other ones now, look at that. Ooh, they actually stick to the block, no problem. And you can see where everything is, so that's pretty handy. Okay, anyway, we're back to this guy. So these are the 2 things that we're using today. Because they are red rubber, we do not need to use our Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, we don't need that because we have padding in a little layer. See it right there between the red rubber and the block, so we're good. So we do need to cut a couple of things. Now in this frames die set that goes with it, you get a couple of these little flowers, and that is the same little flower guy as this. All right, it doesn't, I mean, it's not going to cut that stamp out, but it coordinates, all right? So that's how this set is going to work. So some leaves, some great snowflakes, and then you're saying, wow, that's only 3. No, there are 5 in this set, so those were the 3. And then there's this one that makes the 4th, and then, hang on, always out of my, and then there is this one that makes the 5th, and these actually layer. So that's what we're doing today, right? We're going to layer those, but you don't have to. You could use this by itself. It leaves a solid here. So if your card was going to be blue and you weren't going to have this white layer and you wanted to just cut this out of white, it would be super elegant, and then you could stamp on this because it would be white. Okay, beautiful. All right, so these are the two frames that we're going to use. When you're cutting one like this, it's stitched, so it's awesome. When you are using frames or dies like this that are super intricate, you're going to want to run them through a couple of times on your Big Shot. If things are not coming out super clean, just add another layer of cardstock in on your sandwich that you're going to make there. If you don't know what I'm talking about by sandwich, watch some of my old videos, but you're going to layer an extra layer of cardstock to help cut it out. And you will be left with some little punch poop in here. Don't worry about that. There are a couple ways to get this out. When you first take your frame out and it's attached to the blues still, you can just drop it on the floor aggressively. Drop it aggressively, not throw it, but drop it aggressively on the floor. And the frame will probably pop out and maybe some of the punch poop. So that's really nice. You can use the brush also that attaches to the pick up whatever it's called. Yeah. I'm not going to put anything, by the way, on the video itself here. I will just add it in the description below with links. So you won't be distracted at the time, but you'll be able to find it there. But if you have some of this punch stuff, you should just pop it out like this. And this is, by the way, therapeutic. You know those oddly satisfying videos? I think they could add this. Popping, punch, poop. There could be a song too. A popping punch poop song. All right. So anyway, you're going to pop all these out before you put your die away, just because the next time you need it, you're not going to want to have to start there. All right, then you're going to blow this off onto your floor and ask one of your kids to come down and help you sweep. Yeah, that's what I do, but they don't come. So, all right. All right, so I have already cut this blue thing out because I like you a lot, so you wouldn't have to watch. And it is right here. And I have a couple other little punch poops in here that didn't come out all the way, but that's easy. There you go. So it looks like this. And I have one of the little white guys here that I've done out of white. So I've just used the Seaside Spray that matches the base and Whisper White. It's a 2-color rigmarole. I just want to make this sparkly. So I need to do that first so that it dries. I have used Frost White Shimmer Paint. This is in the annual catalog. It's got a ball bearing or a ball in there to help mix it up because it is actually paint. I will tell you, this is hilarious. I have had this same little tiny, you can see how tiny it is, thing since I started Stampin' Up, which was 10 or 11 or 8, I don't know, 8.5 years ago. So I've had this a long, long time. It will last you a really long time. I have a spritz bottle. I use the big one only because I have classes and I would have to continuously make this spritz. But we do sell for individual use these little spritzers, and they are very cool for this kind of thing. And actually, we're going to use this size too because this is part of the trick. All right, so to make this very shimmery spray that is going to leave the shimmer, isn't that cool? Looks like one of those shimmery bowling balls. You know those shimmer bowling balls? All right, so to make this shimmer stay on here and not make the paper super warped, that's why we're mixing it with rubbing alcohol. So you're just going to take your shimmer paint, shake it up really well. You're going to take your lid off. You're going to pour a little bit in here. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a couple of drops. This one has a little bit more because it's a big container. But in this one, if I were to make this one in shimmer paint, it would literally be like that much. Seriously, that's it. And then rubbing alcohol. And rubbing alcohol, I'm saying cheap rubbing alcohol. This is the Target brand. I'm not brand specific with my rubbing alcohol. And then once you get it, you just mix it. And I don't shake it up and down or anything like that like I would normal paint. I just swirl because I want it to mix without getting a whole lot of air milkshake in there, okay? And it is a pump. So now I'm going to stay back here. When I have my class do it, I have them do it kind of in space, like off to the side in their hand for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want them to get their work area, including their future cards, really sparkly unless they want that. Also, because I don't want them to, I don't care if it's on, you know, my floor or whatever. But if they do it on their hand like this when they're spritzing it, then the alcohol will actually evaporate off. That's going to dry. See how that got wet there? So you don't want to do it over a card that you're working on. So that's why I do that. Then you've got this little shimmer on your hand, and you can just give yourself a little face, you know, wipe your cheeks a little bit or your forehead, and then you have just a little bit of body glitter. See? Bonus. They didn't know they'd get that. It smells a little bit like you got a shot, like you got your flu shot. Get your flu shot. It smells a little bit like you got your shot because it's rubbing alcohol, but that evaporates off and your card won't smell, I promise. And I'm going to set this aside to dry for a minute. You see how it curled up because it's wet? If you use water, it's going to really curl up and it's not going to flatten out as much. This is going to flatten out a little bit more, but I've got a trick in case it doesn't. So let's set this over here and not think about it. But you can see now how shimmery it is compared to the basic cardstock. Okay. Can you see that? All right. All right. So I'm going to set that over there and let that dry. And in the meantime, we are going to stamp this on the wet thing that I was telling you not to do. Okay. We are using Seaside Spray ink pad. This is, as I said, one of the new ink colors, so it's awesome. And they're very stiff still because I haven't used this color a lot. As you can see, I haven't even put the name on it yet. The names are still here. It is we're using the Sending You a Yuletide Cheer, and I'm going to ink that up. So by inking, I don't mean smash, smash. I mean light tap, tap, move it around on your ink pad. Another thing, you don't want to spritz when you have your ink pad open, or it is going to get glimmery in your ink pad. And then everything you make with Seaside Blue, I hope that you want it to be glittery. All right, this is not a square. It is actually a rectangle, so I'm going to make sure that I have it the right way, and I'm going to make sure my stamp is not going to be backwards. As I said, I haven't put the stickers on these yet, but I will. Just not there yet. Let's see how I did. Okay, so when I stamped down, you saw that I waited a little second there. I maybe count to a quick 3. You want to do that and give the ink a chance to kind of settle in there. Oh, so stiff. So these new ink pads, I also always put my hand in it. Okay, and it makes a good satisfying snap noise also, so you know it's closed all the way. All right, so that's done. We're still waiting for this to dry off to the side here. You can see that it's flattening out a little bit, but not completely flat yet. So that's not a big deal. Here's where this other little spritzer comes in. This is just rubbing alcohol. It's not water. It is rubbing alcohol. Normally, I put a little tag. I have a label maker, and I put a tag on here so that I'm sure that I know what exactly I've used. But since it's rubbing alcohol, if this doesn't uncurl a little bit, what you can do is just flip it over to the back side, move that out of the way, and give it a little spritz on the back side, and it'll warp it the other way, and then it will dry a little flatter. Or you can take your Seaside Spray stamp pad and put that on top, and that will also help. So now we can just chat for a minute because it does have to actually dry. So one of the things that I offer to people, we made this in our Christmas club, and if you have not made your Christmas cards yet and you need to, I can cut all these things for you. You can order the bundle and I can ship it to you, and you can make all your Christmas cards yourself, and they will be gorgeous. But one of the things that I did offer in my Christmas Club class was, because these have little cutouts, it's really pretty to put the little diamonds here too. So they did add the basic gems, the rhinestones in here on some of their cards. They make 4 each of 3 different designs. And so a lot of people did, you know, 2 with rhinestones and 2 without. It's very elegant in person. All right, so that's done. I should have sprayed this even before I glued my white. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to get it gluing so you can see. Oh, you can see now, though, how flat it is. See how flat it is? Okay, so it does curl up a little bit, but then it's going to go flat again. That's important if you are going to pop this up. So if you were going to put dimensionals under here, you're going to want it to be as flat as possible. Because I'm actually going to glue it flat on my paper, it is not going to matter if it's super flat or not, because if it were curled up a little, I'd just force it down. But it will work fine like this. It's still a little wet, but you love me, and for the sake of time, I'm sure you're supposed to be working, and your boss is going to be by any minute and see that you're watching my videos again with the videos. All right, I'm going to just stick this down here. Ooh, crooked. See, did you see how I just did that? I just had it a little crooked, did a little twist. Look how pretty that is. And it's got that gorgeous shimmer. And this is just liquid glue. Also, it is not dimensionals. I tried that first and then hated it and popped them off. Oh, I got glue on it. I'll have to use my glue eraser. All right, so that is it. This card is done. So as soon as I take that glue off there, I will drop this, write it out and drop it in the mail. It's not sticking super well because it was still a little wet. Shh, our secret. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. If you see something you like and you would like to order it, I would appreciate it if you would support my small business. My website is listed below in the description box. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. If you place an order for the bundle and the paper to make this card at least $50 and use a host code that I will also put in the description box below, I will send you the diamonds just in case you decide you want them. So let me know if you are interested. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.